Can I ask you something else about kind of switching gears a minute? You know, the media paints you into this ridiculous. You've seen the caricatures; they're insane. You know.
Oh yeah, what's insane about them? That he grabs women by the pussy and he starts kissing them without even asking, and that he was friends with Jeffrey Epstein for 2.5 fucking decades and only broke up with him over a real estate fucking deal, and allows people to perpetuate a lie that it was because of some young girl at Mar-a-Lago and Epstein overstepped the line, as if that makes it any fucking better. It's like it's totally fine for Epstein to farm fucking teenage girls out of the local high schools, but you better not fuck with one of my members at my special club. Eat shit.
When I was going through cancer treatment at Sloan Kettering, I was going in for surgery, and I'd had a bad incident. And you called me that day from the White House, and I got to tell you, I was really touched by the whole thing. You are extremely loyal to your friends. And I say to people, you know why? Because he's a Queens guy. And tell me if I'm right. Here's my theory, Donald Trump theory on Queens, why you got the bravado and the machismo, and why the guys really...
Bullshit, you mean? Why he bullshits?
Like you and the Bro podcast. Queens guys, we never had the money of the Manhattan kids. So you don't have like the class like of the Manhattan. You're not in like...
Yeah, still don't.
The upper crust of this fake...
Trump is not liking this. He is not liking hearing that somehow he's still a Queens scumbag. Hey, asshole, he left that behind a long fucking time ago. He does not bond with you. He's a bullshitter that managed to get himself a building on Central Park.
The caste system we have in New York. You know it exists.
Yeah.
But we're never given...
Yeah. He's only who he is because it exists, you dumb motherfucker.
And the tough guy credit the Brooklyn and the Bronx kids are. Nobody wants to fight them just because they say they're from Brooklyn. So when we're from Queens, we always got to say it and do it. We just can't show up and, oh, this guy's got money, he's from Central Park West, or he's from Brooklyn, he's tough. Hey, tell me I'm not right about Queens. Is that the Donald Trump phenomenon?
Well,
No. Fuck are you talking about? You think this asshole was on like the mean street of Queens, like he was a fucking side character in The Warriors or something? The fuck out of here. He went to private school. He was a legacy. He went to fucking the Wharton School of Finance as a legacy admission. There's nothing fucking Queens about this. But thanks for letting us know, Bongholio, that you're a big fucking flap.
It's a great place to learn. A lot of very successful people came out of Queens. Queens is it's a place of successful people, as you know.
Oh, is it?
But so is Brooklyn, and maybe the Bronx too. A little bit
Paula's
different.
from the Bronx.
Huh?
Paula, yeah,
Oh,
lovely
wow.
Paula. She looks good, doesn't she?
It's good, beyond good. It's really.
It's crazy
great.
being married to a 25-year-old.
I know,
It's just
and
so
doing
weird.
well, and
Yeah.
and she has a lot to do with your success.
Oh my gosh.
I have seen over the years people married and having.
Okay, let's just talk about the fact that they just jettisoned this ridiculous fucking talking point that Bongholio thinks bonds him to Donald Trump, and Trump's honest reaction to it is, fuck you, I got out of Queens for a reason. I'm Manhattan, bitch. That's what he thinks. Christ, did he go back to Queens for his stupid little rally? He went to the Bronx. Think about it. He didn't go back to Queens and go, this is where I grew up and I'm going back to my roots. He can't stand the fucking place. Low rent, poor, mixed family bullshit. He can't stand it. That's why he's like, I don't know, Manhattan, the whole area, just come out, a lot of great people come out of there. Anyways, I've seen people marry and nice tits.
Having a great relationship and they're successful, then it doesn't work out. They go to somebody else and they lose everything. You know, the man behind the woman and the woman behind the man is both. It works out both ways. But I've seen many cases where somebody's successful but with somebody else not successful at all.
Really? You've seen that, have you? So some couples work well together and others don't. Mr. buried his fucking kid's mom on a golf course with no headstone. Jesus Christ. Like, how in the world does anybody think this guy is capable of anything?
I see it with
Melania, your
athletes.
secret weapon?
Melania?
No. Fuck no. Is that your secret weapon? Yeah, it was his first wife and his third wife. He skipped one in the middle during the fucking casino, shit. He was in mid-divorce, moving from one wife to the other.
Well, by the way, she just did #1 bestseller book. Did you see that?
Yeah.
#1. She's #1 on the
#1 bestseller book. Is he talking like her? This is #1 bestseller book. It is the #1 in bestsellering is book. It is the best sellery book you will ever eat, with peanuts or butters or the raisins on top. Ants on a Log is the name of the sequel to my best sellery book.
list, New York Times list. Now, to be #1 for Trump, to be #1 on the New York Times list is not even believable, right? You know what you have to...
Yeah, that's why she left her fucking last name off. That's why the book says Melania on it, you dumb motherfucker. For all this, okay. Let me tell you something, folks. Come here. Scoot in. Let me explain something to you. You know all that shit about Trump going, I say Harris, and people don't know who the fuck Harris is, so we say Kamala, right? That kind of stuff. Okay. You know what the originator of that is that Harris sounds too white and normal. Kamala sounds more exotic and therefore foreign and therefore black or whatever, and he thinks that will be more useful. But the bigger part of it is that Kamala Harris, it's Harris Walz. They're running fine. Kamala Harris, everybody knows her as one thing, but his wife is insisting on releasing a book right before the election that doesn't have her last name on it. It's just Melania. That's what's digging at him. That's where that shit comes from. She didn't even put her fucking, he's like, Trump being #1. Yeah, I guess it's impossible. At least she thought so. At least the fucking book company thought so, because they took her goddamn last name out. It doesn't say Melania Trump, you weirdo. It doesn't say Mrs. Trump. That's for goddamn sure. It says Melania, like you don't even fucking exist.
To go, she had to be #1 by thousands of books, okay? Because they're pretty tough on that.
No, you don't. I think you only have to be #1 by one book, right? You sell the most books. You got more books selling than anybody, right? Why does she have to be that far ahead? I mean, it's a cartoon, but
she's got the #1 bestseller, Melania.
Can I ask you a question about your business time in New York?
Yes, please do.
Wollman Rink.
But and by the way, we're almost at the end of this. So can I just say I think this might be just him bringing this up. By the way, you're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide. Like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show. Patreon.com/Hal Sparks. Come on. This might be why his people wrap the interview. This question.
For those of you who don't know at home, Wollman Rink is a ice skating rink. The city couldn't fix it for 500 years because it's the city of New York.
Yes, I think it was 500 years. Pretty sure. Yeah. The Iroquois Nation. It dogged them forever.
It's a train wreck. They come to you. They say, Mr. Trump at the time weren't running for president or anything. Can you fix this mess? You got it done in record time. I don't even remember. The rink.
Well, it was closed for 11 years. My kids were getting older. They kept saying, Ivanka, Daddy, can I go ice skating?
Yeah, this is how it went down.
I'm sorry, darling. The rink is under construction. After saying that for 11 years, for 11 years, it's been under construction for 11 years. My darling, you're the most beautiful little ice skater, but there goes your career because you have to start young. And they were building. So they were building.
Whoa. First of all, the most beautiful little ice skater sounds fucking creepy as shit. But on top of that, if she wants to be a professional ice skater, she's not going to the fucking park rink, you weirdo. This indoor training facilities. If you raised your fucking kids at all, except to like ogle your daughter and ignore your sons, you would know this.
For 11 years, they had spent just, numbers that were unbelievable. They couldn't get it to work. They were.
Why were they kept trying to do it in the summer?
Building it wrong. They had the wrong pipe. They had the wrong system. They used a refrigeration company from Miami. Right. Now, you don't go to Miami for a rink, you go to Canada. Right. I went to the...
Well, no. You might go to Miami, because if Miami has a rink that's outdoors during part of the year, I guarantee they know how to keep fucking ice in Miami. It's a little harder. In Canada, it just happens, eh?
Montreal Canadiens.
Good Lord. We go to Montreal Canadiens. You know, they're a special kind of Canadians.
I'm your father, Luke. Give in to the dark side of the Force, you knob.
They came down. They were very nice. They came down. They said, this doesn't work. You have to use a brine system. Anyway, they were using a gas system. They had the wrong everything. And, you know, they'd pour this big 50,000-foot site in little tiny patches.
Right.
So it was all uneven. You never saw a butcher job like this. So I took it over. So it was under construction for 11 years. I got it done in 2.5 months.
Yeah.
And
I remember. It's a famous story in New York.
I had cement trucks going, the Teamsters. I had cement trucks going from
the mob,
the rink back to Harlem, you know, along the park.
Oh, yeah.
And I had 40, 50 trucks standing there, all poured over a 2-day period at one time. You know, they were doing little chunks, and then they wouldn't match, and then they tried to hook up pipes. The whole thing was the craziest thing. And the people from the Montreal Canadiens came down, and they said, oh, and...
The Montreal Canadiens.
You remember? They kept stealing the copper pipe. You know, you'd put pipe in the concrete.
Right.
But every night they put the pipe in, the pipe would be gone the next day. The thieves, because copper is very expensive.
Yeah.
And they said, no, you don't want to use copper. You want to use hose. And it has to have water in it, warm water, and you have to put salt in the water. That way it doesn't. That's the whole thing. That was a big factor, you know. So it's called brine. It's
oh, my God.
Water and salt. So the salt doesn't let it freeze, right? And it was great. And we opened it, and I ran it for many years. And de Blasio came along. And by the way, I hit him hard last night. Did you see that? Were you watching last night?
No, I was traveling up.
So they had the Al Smith.
Yeah, the Alfred Smith
dinner last night, the big Catholic dinner in the Plaza. It was great. The Cardinal was, everybody was.
Kamala skipped out.
Everybody was there but her.
I love your joke about Tampon Tim, by the way, that he didn't show up, but he's telling everyone he's there.
That's right.
Yeah, he's telling war stories.
We had a lot of
right
jokes. It's actually, you're supposed to be a comedian, at least for part of your speech. So
no,
You're supposed to be a comedian for at least part of your speech. No, you're supposed to tell jokes, you weird motherfucker.
Good. I like that. You were pretty funny.
It came out. It was
Yeah, you look real convinced there, Bongholio. Look at that's nothing says you were great like saying it exactly like you said it and then looking down at your questions to try and move on. That, I mean, honestly, that's the closest thing to a standing ovation you could give him in this circumstance.
a great evening.
I know you're short on
Was
time.
de Blasio the worst mayor in history?
You know, I think Dinkins was really bad. I think Dinkins was,
You don't question him, just nod and say yes, you weirdo.
Dinkins.
He never paid the workers on that ice rink, I'm sure.
Dinkins was bad.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been through Koch, Dinkins, Beam, mayors of New York.
Who was the best mayor?
Oh, Giuliani, by far. I worked as a cop under Giuliani. I mean, you went into Times Square under Giuliani. That's actually one of my questions. See, bad enough yet, New York City. You know, you and I lived through the Giuliani era.
By the way, I was just in New York for Sexy Liberal, whatever, a month and a half ago, whenever it was. It was fucking awesome. I was walking around at fucking 2 o'clock in the morning in New York. It was amazing. It was just fucking New York. It's just all like, it wasn't, I will give them, it was not 1970s fucking Wolfen New York, right? But it was, you know, it was modern, cool, evening traffic New York. Hi, Spicy Dragon. Yes, you did. It was great.
You go up, you get off the train station in Times Square, you get hit with 7 hookers, 20 drug dealers, and 3-card Monty guys.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Left and right? Giuliani gets elected. Mr. President, you know as well as I do. You walk through Times Square 6 months later. It's a totally different place. So when people tell me...
Yeah, but it was still that way. They fucking shut it down. That had nothing to do with fucking Giuliani. That was just the timing of it. They were like, this is a fucking tourist area. We got to clean it up. That's all that happened.
Donald Trump, who grew up in that New York and is committed to changing government, can't fix things. It's too bad. I say, BS. It was 1,000 times worse in New York, and Giuliani turned it around like that.
Well, it's
right, and it's still 1,000 times better. You do realize the calendar moves forward, right?
getting bad. I will say it's getting bad. Bad things are happening.
It's getting bad, Jesus. That's the other thing too. Is like all these fuckers do all day now is like opine about how the like we're a declining nation, and it might look okay to you right now. Things might look like they're getting better, but they're about to get way worse than they ever have. Trust me. That's what this is. It's like the laziest fucking lie, and it's spitting in the face of everybody who just gets up and has a life in New York City or any other city in the fucking country. Like the way he shit talks this country all the fucking time. Honest to God, it's like he thinks 80% of the people in any of our big cities are criminals anyways, and that none of us have any response to it. There's no functioning government. There's no functioning law. There's nothing and that they're magically crime in big cities is fucking new.
Happening, and the migrants are making it happen really bad.
No, they are not.
Because, we have 100,000 migrants. Nobody has any idea how many. And
well, then maybe it's 20,000. Maybe it's 15,000. Maybe they all went home. If you have no idea. You seem to have an idea that's always more than whatever is said, even if you're the last person that said it.
Interesting. The mayor said, this is not sustainable, and I said he'll be indicted, and he was indicted. They indicted him. This is a bad group.
Hey, nice, excellent quality there, Bongholio. Really good production. I enjoy your weird little. I got to say that. That's how I felt listening to him most of the time.
I will say it's getting bad. Bad things are happening, and the migrants are making it happen really bad because, we have 100,000 migrants. Nobody has any idea how many. And interesting, the mayor said, this is not sustainable, and I said he'll be indicted, and he was indicted. They indicted him. This is a bad group. Same group that we just talked about.
I feel like his people went over and pushed a button like a kill switch, like a dump button, and said, we got to go. And that's what that was.
And it's, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens with it. But having a young Rudy at this moment, a young Rudy, because he did a great job.
You saw it.
This city was a mess. This whole place was a mess. And within a couple of years, it became the safest big city in the world, right?
No, not at all.
It was amazing. It was
not even, no. New York has never been the safest big city in the fucking world. Not even fucking close. What are you talking about?
Great for business with you.
He's got to be given credit for it. He did a great job.
The question from
what did he do a great job at? Brooming the Italian mob so the Russians and Chinese could move in and the Russians and the Chinese could finance all your fucking buildings? No wonder you like him.